Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Binkwe. Let's make this bubble gown together. Let's get started. I'll be using 3.5 yards of fabric, so I folded it into 4, just like that. Make sure it is well aligned, and I measure the length of the dress. The dress is not a full length, it's actually longer a little bit than 3/4 length, so I measure the length I want the dress to be, just like that. After getting the length, I decided to measure the wideness of the bubble, so I make use of 25 inches from the beginning till the end, just like that, and I connect the line. The next thing to do now is to remove the neck. So I use 3 inches for the neck, and I come down by 2 inches for the shoulder slant, just like that. And for the neck depth, I use 1 inches for the back, and I use 3 inches for the front, just like that. And I cut it out. That's all for the cutting. Very easy to cut, very easy to cut. So just cut it out, remove the back neck and also the front neck. Make sure it is aligning very well. And the next thing I did was I cut facing for both the front and the back. Just cut facing to turn the neck for both the front and the back. So it's time to sew. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to sew the neck with 1/2 inches. So the neck with the facing with 1/2 inches. So what I'll be doing is I'll be using hemming gum to sew the neck, so that when I iron it, after turning it, it's going to lay down very well. So I'll just sew it like that with 1/2 inches. I will notch it and top stitch it. So that's it for the back. The next thing to do now is to do the front. But before you sew the front neck, you have to iron it so that you get the center for the front. After getting the center, you're going to mark 1/2 inches for the neck sewing. 1/2 inches like that. So in the center, you're going to mark, I'm trying to connect the 1/2 inches together. You're going to mark 1/2 inches, but I felt 1/2 inches would be too wide, so I make it quarter inches, because I don't want the slits at the front neck side to be too wide. So I make it quarter inches, and I come down the opening. I come down by 5 inches, just like that, and I connected it with a ruler. To just put the facing under it, it's time to sew it. So I use pin to hold it down so that it won't move. Just use pin to hold it down to make sure it is stable. Then I use my hemming gum to stitch it as well. So just have to follow the lines you mark gently. You don't have to rush. So just sew it like that. Make sure you are seeing the lines from the hemming gum. Make sure you are seeing the lines and follow the lines. Just sew it exactly on the hemming gum by following the lines, just like that. When you are done sewing, you just have to top stitch it. You have to notch it first. Make sure you notch it to the pointed part. Yeah, just notch it like that. Yeah, and top stitch it. I'm trying to cut it so that it won't be swollen inside it. And I top stitches and cut the edges. So that's all for the front. Just turn it out. So this is the result. When we iron it, it's going to lay perfectly. So now let's talk about the patches. So we have 2 big patches on the dress. These ones are the pockets. So I cut 12 by 11 or 12 by 11. And for this one, I have 7 different colors. I cut it in 2, and the measurement I used was 7 by 7 inches. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply paper stitch to all. I've given a neckline good press now, so the way it has laid. So the next thing I want to do now is to join the shoulder together. So to join the shoulder, I'll just use the back to face the front and align the shoulder joining together. Make sure it is well aligned. Hold it down with a pin, then stitch with 1/2 inches. Just stitch it with 1/2 inches like that. That's it for the shoulder joining. You will do the same for the other shoulder as well. So this is what it's going to look like. Can you see how our boob is coming out? So I fold the edge of the pocket with 1 inches. I use iron to fold them to lay properly. So I stitch them. I'm stitching them now. So I'll stitch the both pockets edge, and I added paper stay to all the rest of the patches. So the next thing I have to go and do now is to go and fold the edges of each patches. After folding, I have 6 inches for 6 by 6 inches for the smaller patches, and for the pockets I now have 9 by 9 inches for the pockets. Trying to trim out the excess, it's too bulky. So I have 9 by 9 for this, and I have 6 by 6 for this. The next thing to do now is to get the position of all these patches. So the first thing I did was I started from the center, measured 3 inches upward, 3 inches to the right hand side, 3 inches to the left hand side to get the 6 by 6 box. So I got that, and then I moved to the side with 8 inches. I'm going up by 3, just measuring my 6 inches as well. So I did the same thing, and for the lower part has 3 patches, while the upper part has 4 patches. So for the up patches, there will be 2 by the right hand side and 2 by the left hand side as well. Just try to position everything. I make sure I sketch everything out like this before laying my fabrics on it. So this is me measuring the bigger parts, trying to position everything and see if they will fit perfectly. And yeah, that's it. And I also find the right place to position the pockets as well. So I did the measurements, make sure they are accurate, and I placed them at the right place. So the next thing to do now is to take them to your sewing machine and stitch them. Make the stitching neat, like just don't rush, just do it gently. Make sure you stitch them on a straight line. Do the same for everything, just carefully stitch them. Make sure the stitches are very neat, and also use the color of each fabric to sew them. Don't use pink color to sew color blue. Get thread for each color and stitch them carefully. After carefully making the front, the next thing is to lay the dress down. Use it to position the back patches as well. So this is me sewing my back patches. I use the same measurement I use for the front to get the back patches. Then just carefully sew it as well. Just make sure you're sewing them well and they're coming out very neat. Just make sure you change the thread for each color. Don't be too lazy saying you want to use same color of thread for everything. Change the thread for each color so that it's going to come out clean. Just carefully sew it like that. I'm done sewing the patches, so this is what they all look like after sewing it. The fabric is actually wide. The dress is very wide. So this is what it looks like. Can you see how neat it is? I've not even ironed it yet, but it came out very neat. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to join this side. So pay attention to this. To join this side, just turn it around, let it face each other. So from the shoulder, you're going to come down with your opening. I make my 9 inches, and from the lower part I come up by 14 inches for the slit. Then I mark my 1 inches for the sewing for the stitching. Do the same to the other side as well. Just from the shoulder, come down by 9 inches, and from the lower parts come up by 14 inches. Then mark your 1 inches that you're going to stitch. So it's just that 1 inches that you mark that we are stitching. Just place it on your machine and sew that part. Just sew it. Do the same for the other side as well. So I noticed the 9 inches was small, so I had to make it 10 inches. I mark 1 inches from that shoulder part. I lose it back to be 10 inches so that the sleeve will be a little bit open than it is. So now that I have 10 inches for the opening, you can just mark yours 10 inches instead of the 9 inches. And the 1 inches I sew, I remove half inches from it, so that I'm going to just see what happened. So the reason I'm removing the half inch is for me to be able to fold the beginning with the half inches. Just look at what I do so that you will understand. I mark my half inches to the end just like that. I'm trying to mark it carefully so that it will be straight. So I'll cut it out from the slit part and cut it to the sleeve part just like that. So just cut it out over there without cutting it. So this is how you're going to fold the sleeve. So just open the allowance. After opening the allowance, the remaining half inches, you fold it in to align with the half inches that we have in the stitch part, just like that. Then you will sew it. Yeah, can you see? Do you understand what I'm showing you? So just fold it like that. After folding it, this is what I have. It's very easy to stitch. Just fold the remaining part at the upper part, and you do the same for the slit as well. Very easy. You do the same for the other side too. So your dress is ready. If you have any question or you do not understand any part, just let me know in the comment section. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you'll be notified when I post a new video. Thank you.